Rolling and the sound is speeding. Hi, welcome to another episode of This Week with Drew for Thursday, Friday, May 20th. What's going on? On today's episode, we got, did you know there's a big giant beach in Toronto? And I didn't. I mean, I guess I did, but, oh, you know I got that screwdriver flow. I got the Phillips. Phillips is the only screwdriver that I know. No, I know of other screwdrivers. There's fucking Robertson, and then this fucking square one. Anyways, hi, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of This Week with Drew. Robertson is square. The star one. What's the fucking star one called? You know, it's like a little 5 little stars. Anyways, hi, welcome to the show. This is This Week with Drew for Thursday, May 20th, 2020 or 2020. On today's episode, we got did you know that Toronto has beaches? And what am I doing? Let's just go into the show right now. Let's do a little bit of what do we got? We got motherfucking how was my week? Okay, how's my week? Well, I'm back at work at fucking after being severely depressed last week that I couldn't even get a dishwashing job. What the fucking little buggies are these? I couldn't even get a dishwashing job. And then I feel like it's like I tried to comfort myself where I was like, you're overqualified for this. Because I was like in some like hole of despair last week. Where I was like, I have no comedy. I have no school. I have nothing. And then I was trying to be a YouTube chef and then everyone just started roasting me. So I was like, fuck. I was like, I literally got nothing. And then, so I was like, okay, well, fuck it. I'm just going to regress to my, that's what I was like. I'm just going to regress. I'm going to go back into a embryonic state, a cocoon-like state, and go back to previous iterations of myself. And then we'll start again. And then we'll go back. It's almost like reverse. It's like Benjamin Button, you know? So I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm going to grow my hair out, start wearing bandanas and work at a kitchen, which is what I did in high school in grade 12. And if that doesn't work, then I'll have to fucking go back even further and, you know, maybe be a parking lot attendant somewhere or work at a Quiznos. But I was like, okay, let's go to this embryonic state and let's get back to fucking, you know, let's see. Because I feel like I was who I needed to be when I was like 17. Maybe not necessarily like in terms of maturity, but artistically and creatively. Like, I feel like that was when I was the absolute most free and most like, I don't know, like locked into my potential as an artist in terms of being a musician and an actor and a comedian and an improviser and all that, because that was before the world starts imposing limitations on you, man. Is like right in that apex of high school of where you're like, in terms of me, at least creatively, it's like you're not in the real world yet. Like you're still a part of the system that you were in since you were like 5, you know, like you're still a child. But then I had these creative sensibilities that no one was telling me it was wrong. You know, like it was just, you go out and do it because you're just doing it. There's no idea of a career. There's no idea of there was no social media. There was nothing I had to worry about other than just fucking creativity and artistry. And I knew that at the time too. I was like, I love being wildly creative and like fucking, and you know, and then you get out and then it was just like, and then the world starts, and then stand-up comedy starts telling you, it's like, bro, you got these joke police being like, that joke sucks, or you can't do that, or this guy said this like 20 years ago on a similar idea, so that's hacky, and you just got to throw it out, and if you think it's stolen, then throw it out, because that means it is, and all this shit, and it was like, it really fucked me up. Like there was a couple Edmonton joke police guys, and they fucking, and coincidentally enough, they all quit comedy. Every Edmonton joke badge carrying Edmonton joke police that I ever fucking met has quit stand-up comedy, or is like limped along and like done like something like, oh, I still do stand-up, and then did like a little fucking half-ass whatever little thing. And then it's like, are you even drop that? Like, are you gonna release that? So these joke police just fucked me up, man, for so long, and it put a strain on me and Danny's relationship because Danny was still fully holding on to the fucking, you know, Andy Dufresne spirit inside of him, you know, and I was full on red at the time, and I was like, you don't get out of here for 25 years. That's my Morgan Freeman. That's a really bad Morgan Freeman. But, in the book, he's the ginger guy, but they still named him Red because they thought it was funny in the movie. Anyways, So yeah, so I was like freaking out about like trying to get a job and all this shit, and then I was like, hey, fuck it, I'm gonna go work as a dishwasher, because when you're a dishwasher, you have the ability, nobody fucking talks to you. No, you just do your job with your hands, you pull your little thing, you wash your dishes, but then your brain is like free to think about jokes and just free to be creative, because you're not like talking to anybody. Like your brain is free, that you just kind of fall into the zen of the dish pit, man, and you just fucking turn into this like robot that is able to fucking do dishes while your brain is like, you could be on Mars, man, you know? So so then I didn't even get a call. I applied to like a bunch of different places, and like they didn't even call me back. It's just like, how the fuck what kind of resume you need for a dishwasher, bro? Like I said this, you could be a half a man from Guatemala and you could still get the job. Nick really liked that one. So I didn't get any of those jobs, any callbacks this week. So I was like, hey, fuck it, we're going back to Long McQuaid. I was going back anyways, but I was like, hey, whatever, I'm going to go fucking hard on this. And the only reason I was opposed to it was just because I've been doing that job. Talk about fucking Benjamin Button. But I've been doing that job since I was like 18. And it's like something is just like, it's like you're 32, like you're still doing that job. You know, it's like, it'd be like if I still drove the same like car that I did in high school. It's like, you still have the same job as you did in high school. It's like, I mean, kind of, yeah. But whatever. And I was like, okay, whatever, man. Because fucking, you know what I got coming down the pipe. Boo, 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 boo. So hopefully that still comes through, right? So it's like the dream is still alive, man, you know? But it's like, right at this point in juncture in time, the depressing nature of not being able to do stand-up combined with the fucking inability to make money doing anything else was really fucking coming down hard on me. So I didn't get any jobs. So whatever. This week I was like, okay, I'm going back to Long McQuaid. So I went back to Long McQuaid. And on the first couple days, and it was all right, man. Like I was just answering the phones. I was a receptionist. I was like, yeah, fucking A. Like I have no specialty other than saying hello and what do you need and what do you got. But it was actually sneaky because like low key, the receptionists, generally speaking, aren't like the most product knowledgeable people because they're just like the receptionist, which is very, but you know, but me, I got product knowledge in every department. So the guy comes in, and he's like, the guy calling, he's like, yeah, I knew guys, fucking, I got a Taylor GT09. And you're like, Kate. You just say K, and then you patch them through to acoustic guitars, because it's like, I don't have fucking time. People love talking on the phone to customer service people. Like they fucking, especially if it's like a hobby thing. Like if you've ever worked retail at like a hobby based store, like maybe you worked at like a Bass Pro, or you worked at like a fucking, you know, any sort of fishing or like anything where it's like a hobby store, or it's like all that, clearly this stuff is non-essential. You know, like this is like nothing we sell here is important sort of store. But like if you ever worked in one of those stores, man, and you know the people, because they're like, oh, you work here, so you also like the thing. Because especially with the guitar store, man, is like, guys are like, their wives, they don't fucking get it, right? They don't talk to them about humbuckers and fucking, you know, Pal Pharaoh changing over from Rosewood. Like they don't give a fuck about that, right? And then they get into the zone with it, and then they come to you, and then they're like, you know, so talk to me about it now. And since I am a customer, I get your fucking time no matter what, under the presumption of a sale. And they take advantage of that, bro. Custy's just lonely Custys. I'm a lonely Custy. I just want to talk about strings. A little guitar Custies, and I'm going there. It's Friday today, obviously you guys know, because okay, so here's what I did. So in addition to working in Long McQuaid, I worked there a couple days a week, and then I was like, hey, fuck it, it's super nice, 30 degrees out, I'm gonna go to the beach. I always heard about the Toronto beaches, but I never been there before, because I was like, the fucking beaches, man, like what kind of beaches are gonna be in Toronto? Turns out they're big and nice. So I went there yesterday and just or 2 days ago with my buddy. I skateboarded there. My buddy Ian rollerbladed, and there's a fucking path that shoots you all the way from downtown, like 9.5 kilometers down the waterfront all the way to the beaches. And it's a nice path, dude. Like Toronto's actually pretty sick, like in terms of like amenities and like having shit as like a city. Like it's a fucking good. There's like Edmonton doesn't, like we got the River Valley, but it doesn't go anywhere. It just kind of goes into it's like a snake sucking its own tail. But this path, it goes all the way to the beaches, and the beaches are huge, bro. It looks like it looks like the beaches like Santa Monica, like when I was in LA. Like I used to go to the beaches, and they would take you like an hour and a half on the fucking Highway 5 just to get all the way over to the fucking water. And then you're like, do I actually want to spend like 3.5, potentially 4 hours in traffic just to go to the beach for 2 hours? So you'd have to leave at like 8 in the morning to get to the beach at like fucking 9:30, 10, and then you can hang out, and then you got to leave at like 2 and try to catch that. LA traffic is fucked. And I was all the way in fucking Highland Park too. So we're talking like far, like way East LA. East Los Angeles, bro. Like I grew up in East Los Angeles, but it was like my neighborhood was like 90% Latino. Like the fucking grocery store was called El Super. Like they didn't even bother. They're just like fucking El Super. Everything's in Spanish. Like and I was down with that. Like I have a pretty like, I'm not good at Spanish, but I can like read, and I know the little connector words. That's what I'm having trouble with Courtney's French right now, is because I can kind of figure out what they're saying based on like the big words like implementee or whatever the fuck. And you're like, oh, there's some sort of implementation happening here. But like it's the little words. But in Spanish, I know the little connector words, so you can kind of read like you say pollo, and you're like, well, I fucking know, obviously know that's a chicken. And I can tell by the fact that it looks like a chicken as well. Also by my experience of grocery shopping my entire life, you know, you don't really need English. Okay. So that's what it was. And then I got super drunk on the beaches. I skateboarded there, and all my homies showed up. Natish and all those guys. And then I got too drunk. This was Safety Steve, 30-year-old guy. Said I got too drunk and I don't want to skateboard home I don't want to endanger my fucking life. Because I might kill myself on this skateboarding home all fucking wasted. So I was responsible, and a younger version of myself probably would have said, fuck you, I skateboarded here, I'm skateboarding home. Old Drew just said, fuck you, we're tapping out, give me a ride home, Natish. So he did. Okay, what else do we want to talk about? Oh, let's do Custy of the Week. We got motherfucking, what do we got here? Custy of the Week. Okay, our Custy of the Week this week is me. I don't have a, this is a good reason for me to tell a Custy of the Week. I was playing funny money poker. As sometimes I do, just to keep, it's just fun. It's a different metagame. People play way differently when you play with real money than you play with funny money. Like people go all in and with the stupidest shit on funny money. But it's whatever. It's fun just to play cards and see a couple hands and, call with a fucking 7-8 suited and maybe you hit the straight, right? Straight flush even. So, warning, a lot of poker talk. So if you don't know about poker coming up, you could probably just turn it off. But, okay, so here's what it is. I'm playing funny money, and there's this guy fucking sitting to the right of me, and he's taking forever to bet. Like, he's using up his time banks every single time. And it's like, bro, you're taking 15, 20 seconds a hand to just fold or to just limp in or whatever. So I was like, hey, fuck this guy, man. Like, I really don't want to play on the table with this guy. Like, it's funny money. Like, I'm just going to go all in, bust, and then fire up a new tournament or whatever. And then, so I hit 7-2 offsuit. I'm like, okay, fucking perfect. Sure enough, next hand comes and it's 7 deuce offsuit. I'm like, fucking A, bro. So I go all in, 7 deuce offsuit. Guy to the left of me immediately, and I was in small, what was the action? Action was on me, actually. So it was fucking, that guy was the big blind. So action was on me. The shitty guy was big blind. So action's on me. And then I go all in, and then the guy next to me calls, and then everybody around the way folds, even fucking Buddy, the shitty guy who folds his big blind. So I was like, okay, fuck you. I took we got your blind out of here. Good, I'm out. So I flip, I show 7 deuce offsuit, and the guy next to me who called me shows rockets. And I'm like, hey, like fucking hey, buddy. You were probably so stoked. Like if you got rockets and you see someone behind you go all in, you're like, fucking hey, like sick. And then I flip 7-2. It's like the worst hand, right? So fucking it's rockets versus 7-2. The flop comes king 7-2. So now I'm up on this guy like fucking 2-1. Like it starts, which is surprising. If you actually 7-2 versus aces all in off the flop, aces only has a fucking 2-3. Like it's like a 30% chance that the 7 deuce will still win. Like it's only a 60% chance that you win with the rockets. So sure enough, I hit 7 deuce. Next card comes and it's suited and he has the ace of clubs, right? So now we have fucking 4. It was actually 3 clubs on the board. King 7-2, and he's got the ace of clubs in his and a red ace. So I'm like, actually, this guy's got a crazy nut flush draw. And I was like, holy fuck, is my 2 pair gonna stand? Like, he still had a way out, but then sure enough, next card dead. Sure enough, next card fucking dead. And I and I took all his money because I had him covered too on the stack. So I took all his money on rockets, bro, in 7-2, and then everyone started chucking horseshoes at my head, like you're lucky. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I literally typed in the chat, I'm like, I was trying to leave. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't really mean to. But that's so Custy, man. Going all in with 7-2 off student and beating rockets, bro. Holy fuck, man. So gangster. Promotional consideration for the show is provided by... Promotional consideration for This Week with Drew is provided by our Patreons. Anthony, Blair, Joel, Nick and Mac, Bubba, Marnus, Taryn, Bryce. Bubba, who got jacked by Canada Post because I sent out... Everybody else got their stuff. Patrick and Nick and Mac got their stuff, so it means we did get jacked. So I'm going to talk to the king, and we're going to get some more shit rolling out to you. Speaking of King, go check out our sponsor, kingtutscannabis.com. Use the promo code DREW for 10% off your order, and you will receive that. Also, if it's your first time and you've been hesitant, you're like, I don't know if I want to buy weed online. I don't think that's for me. Go there. We'll give you an extra 15% off. Number and a tester. Hi, Mink. Go to kingtutscannabis.com. Use the promo code DREW for 10% off your order. Okay, thank you. That's the show. Yes? Beach guy, Suis, Custy. I've been outside. Phone guy. What is phone guy? I don't know what that is. Okay, we're done. June 4th, me, Sterling Scott, Keith Pedro. Might be tickets for a live stand-up comedy show. We're still waiting, like it's booked, but we got to see if lockdown will get extended. But June 4th. I don't know. I don't know how to buy them. But go to Sterling Scott's Facebook page and he posted a bunch of shit there. And I'm not even on the poster, but apparently I'm on the show. So whatever. Okay. Thank you to everybody who watches and listens. Thank you to our sponsor. Thank you to motherfucking... Well, I take 3 poops, then I get high. And then I get more high.